So my name is Ann Kennedy, and I am a member of the selection committee for the Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year. And I am also on the board of Castle Cape Cod. So ordinarily, in the past, this event has occurred at the lovely 1763 old colonial courthouse in Barnstable Village. And in other years I've been welcoming there, and also showing you the plaque that we have on our wall that has all the recipients of the award for the last 20 years. We have just included Wendy's on that list, so it's great. So this year I'm pleased to be welcoming you in this equally lovely building, 1717 Meeting House in West Barnstable. So I'd like to thank the Reverend Reed there and the West Parish community for welcoming us into this lovely, lovely venue, steeped in history, to honor Wendy Kittredge Northcross as our 20th Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year. And she has had many, many nominations over the years, so we are very, very pleased to finally be able to recognize and honor her in this way.
And you know what's great? We can sing again, right? And we are so honored to have Matt Levesque here. Matt, where'd you go? There you are. Matt Levesque, Barnstable Town Council, is going to sing for us and open up our ceremony. Matt, somewhere. There's Chris Clark, Town Council. Former State Rep Tom George. Tom, are you? Alice is here for Tom? Alice for Tom. Pastor Reed Bear for the Meeting House West Parish. Barnstable Town Council Gordon Starr. One of our former town managers, Tom Lynch. I saw Tom. Our current Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority Administrator, also a former state rep, Tom Kerr. What are you doing in the cheap seats up there, Tom? What's on? It's like the monster seats at Fenway Park, right? Okay, our list goes on. I saw John Oman here from the Barnstable County. Some of his John up there. And County Commissioner Sheila Lyons is up there as well. I think that's everybody, right? Do you any other? I think we got everybody. We had a watchful eye as everyone was coming in to make sure that we're good. So.
It's not too late to run for office and be recognized.
Right. So welcome to all of our dignitaries. Thank you so much. We appreciate you here. So we're going to take a couple of moments to tell you about the committee that works so hard on this every year. The Mercy Otis Warren Statue Committee was formed under the leadership of Lou Cataldo, and we all remember Lou, right? What an amazing guy for the town of Barnstable. And then Barnstable Town Councilor Audrey Lockney as well. Both felt that Mercy Otis Warren was as much a patriot of the American Revolution as her brother James Otis Jr., whose statue had previously been placed on the lawn of the Barnstable County Superior Courthouse back in 1991 on July 4th. Now, the committee was very successful in bringing about the creation and the placement of the Mercy Otis Warren statue, which was placed right next to her brother's. And that was dedicated on July 4th in 2001. And both bronze statues are sculpted by Cape Cod artist David Lewis, who is with us here tonight. David, thank you. So the Mercy Otis Warren Women of the Year Selection Committee was formed shortly thereafter and named its first honoree historian Marion Vilmer in 2002. And then Anneli Carnala was the first chair of the committee. Alice George, who is here tonight, became the chair of the committee in 2003 and continued in that role until her retirement in 2013. Now, a bronze statuette sculpted by David Lewis in the likeness of Mercy Otis Warren is presented each year to the Cape Cod woman who has demonstrated leadership in the community and who has made a significant contribution to the arts, education, business, or community involvement while embracing the ideals of patriotism. The award was presented on the county courthouse lawn on Independence Day until 2009. As many of you may remember, then we moved over to the Tales of Cape Cod along 6A. We were back at the Superior Courthouse last year in our outside venue, and then this year here at the 1717 Meeting House. So quick overview of the committee that puts together our award, and we're honored to have many of the past recipients with us here tonight. I'm going to ask them to stand and be recognized and stay standing while we go through the list. Lynn Poyon, of course, is here. Lynn, if you would. Mary McClare. Sue French. Judy Walden Scarafile. Dorothy Savarese. Dorothy, are you in the house? Michelle Da Silva. Michelle, did you make it in? No? Okay. And Nancy Shoemaker from West Barnstable. And of course, Lee McConnell, who was last year's. Congratulations, thank you to all of our former Mercy Otis Women of the Year recipients. You have all done you've held your title well each year, and this year we'll be handing it over to the 2021 Mercy Otis Warren Woman of the Year in just a few moments. First of all, we're going to have a really honored about this. Can't wait to hear it as we just introduced one of the former recipients and the former Barnstable County Commissioner. She was a recipient in 2009. Mary LeClaire has a special essay for us here tonight. Mary?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And welcome to everybody past, present, and future. I believe that Mercy Otis Warren and I would have been close friends. She was the kind of woman who wanted to make the world a better place for all and enjoy life while she was doing it. She was born on Cape Cod. She was one of 13 children. Her father was a prominent lawyer and a merchant who opposed the British rule of the American colonies. Women were not educated in the same manner as men in the 17th century, so she had to work for it. She attended her brother's sessions and satisfied her thirst for knowledge by reading everything she could find. She read all their books. Her father caught her at one time and said that it might be a good idea if she continued to do that. So they were taught by their uncle, the Reverend John Russell, in West Parish Church in West Barnstable, right here where we're sitting. Later in life, when her brother James, who she adored, went on to Harvard, would send back his papers and his books for her to read. She loved politics. It was in her blood, as they say, and I can truly understand that. It was through her brother going to Harvard that she met her husband and best friends. They married in November 1754. She was 25 years old. They moved to Plymouth. They had 5 sons in the next 10 years and spent a lot of time with close friends, John and Abigail Adams. John would later become the 2nd president of the United States. What I would not give to have heard some of the conversations around the table at one of their dinner parties. Wouldn't that have been fun? Of course, this was a time when women were not supposed to have opinions, and especially not address them in public. It was also a time when Mercy wrote her first play. She did so anonymously. She was heartbroken, and through the influence of her brother, she had become an avid revolutionary. She was heartbroken after he was attacked and became mentally ill, bringing a political future to a bitter end. He was very involved in the start of the Revolutionary War. After the colonies won the war for independence, Mercy devoted all her time in behalf of the Bill of Rights, becoming a document of freedom for individuals. She was so sure that she was going to get these freedoms protected by law. She wrote letters. She wrote letters to Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, and of course John Adams. Her pen was mighty and her words were strong. She and her devoted husband suffered many losses. They were parents who lost 2 sons in battle and 1 to an illness. But she always rebounded and worked harder on her writing. She was always there to help others who had suffered as well. When she was 77 years old, she compiled all her writings, pamphlets, notes, and wrote the history of the rise, the progress, and the termination of the American Revolution. It was the first time her name was on a political writing. It is 3 volumes and covers the pre-revolution into the next century. James born after a very successful political life, devoted husband and father, passed in 1808, and Mercy, who used to say she never wanted them apart for a day, lost her dear companion. She continued to write, help any poor soul who came her way, until at the age of 86, passed away in 1814. I thank you, Mercy Otis, for paving the way for women like me.
So really since the beginning, the committee has had a really strong partnership with Barnstable County, and we always like to hear from the county. And this year we have a brand new administrator on the job already, doing a great job, and Beth Albert is going to talk a little bit about the partnership between the committee and Barnstable County.
I can't tell you how honored I am to be here tonight representing Barnstable County, and congratulations, Wendy, to you on this really nice acknowledgement and award. You know, I've worked with Wendy on various things over the years, but what stands out to me the most was when we started working on some substance use disorder issues and addressing it. And when I called Wendy, the thing that stood out to me, and I continue to remember today, whenever I think of you, is just your willingness to collaborate, and how you were really thinking about the employers and what we could do to support employers, small businesses who had employees who were struggling with substance use disorder. So I just want to thank you for working with us and for collaborating, and the work that you've done with the county just over the past year, well, 15 months really, with the COVID task force has just been remarkable. So thank you so very much. And just really honored to be here representing Barnstable County and all of the work that you all do in recognizing Wendy for her accomplishments. So thank you.
So each year we always like to have presentations from the State House, and we have many of our representatives here today. I'd like to ask Representative Peake and Senator Moran to come up, and they're going to present some paperwork for Wendy Northcross. And we'll have Representative Zaros join us as well. Please come on up.
I'm honored to be here to speak for a second about my friend Wendy, who I will get to the Senate citation in 1 minute, but I have a comment from Julian here, so I'm going to quickly give mine first. And that is just, without her masterful collaboration, just as Beth said, we would not be as successful. She recognizes talent, professionalism. She has an incredibly professional way of getting a team together to do their absolute best work. And at the work that she's done through the governor's committees, as well as with the COVID committee that Senator Sear and Leader Peake and I have been participating in, it has made a difference to so many people day by day. And just thank you for Wendy. You were just incredible with that. And Senator Sear, my colleague, just sent a quick note on Cape Cod. We strive to work in a collaborative way to get things done. No one embodies the ethic more than Wendy Northcross. Over her 24 years at the helm of the Cape Cod Chamber, Wendy has been the essential partner, convener, and problem solver on intractable tough issues, from wastewater to bridges to early education to COVID-19. I'm already in mourning at the prospect of her departure planned for later this year. Wendy's record of accomplishment will shape the everyday lives of Cape Codders for many, many years to come. Arguably, no one in recent memory has had a bigger imprint on this most special peninsula than Wendy.
Beautiful.
And so from the State Senate, the official citation, be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Wendy Northcross, CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, in recognition of your receipt of the Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year Award for your dedicated service to Barnstable County. Be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes to continued success at this citation, be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to with a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate, signed also by Senator Moran and Senator Sear.
Beautiful.
Good evening, everybody, and Wendy, congratulations, and what an honor to be part of this group that gets to honor you. I have a feeling this will be the first of many evenings that many of us will be spending together as we're toasting, maybe roasting Wendy Northcross. I don't know, but I think perhaps. I think that Julian's words really hit the nail on the head. As I think about what my professional relationship has been with Wendy Northcross, aside from our friendship, so much of, I would almost say, everything that is important that I have had the honor to work on since serving in the state legislature, Wendy Northcross has been part of that idea. She's had her fingerprints on the implementation of it. She's been a partner from the private sector to me in government. She's put on her comfortable shoes and walked up and down those marble hallways, knocking on the doors of leadership and committee chairmen to make stuff happen. Whether it's wastewater, more funding for tourism, supporting our small businesses here, working to keep our foreign workers here so we can keep our Americans working and keep our businesses open and grow this economy, environmental issues, the blue economy. And of course, I would say to people, if you have survived this pandemic, which all of you have because you were here, if you have a vaccine in your arm, and if you feel like your life is getting back to normal, you owe a debt of gratitude to Wendy Northcross. So I too have a citation, this from the Massachusetts House. I said to Van earlier, we're going to build an extra room. I was looking around to see if Tony Shepley were here tonight, because he should really honor her by building a trophy room in her house for her, because she for sure will fill it up, and deservedly so. So this is an official citation from the Massachusetts House of Representatives, offering its sincerest congratulations to Wendy K. Northcross in recognition of receiving the 2021 Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year Award, and the entire membership, especially Stephen Exaros, the newest member of our delegation, who's doing a bang-up job for us here on the Cape.
Thank you.
We offer our sincerest congratulations and all best wishes for good fortune in the future ahead. And it's given the second day of June of 2021, signed by the still relatively new Speaker Ron Mariano. There aren't many of these that have been given out yet. And by me, the not so new State Representative. So
yeah.
I love this. I love being here with so many strong, smart, powerful women. Senator Moran, I love it. And Sarah, thank you. This is new to me, right? So I've only been doing this for 5 months, but I love it. And Wendy, every Tuesday morning, for a long time, you've led us. So all your words are so true. And we've survived, one of the worst things that's ever happened to the world. So I'm proud to be here tonight. I'm proud to say I'm from West Barnstable, and I live right down the street. And it's special. And what a special building. Think about what's happened in this room over the years. It's beautiful, it's perfectly appropriate. So, from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, House of Representatives, which there are 160 strong people from all over the state, all different types, and I'm proud to be one of them, along with you, Sarah. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Wendy K. Northcross in recognition of receiving the 2021 Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year Award, which recognizes your strong work ethic and your passion and dedication to the Cape Cod community for over the last 30 years. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors, which there is no doubt that will keep happening. Given this second day of June 2021, at the State House in Boston, Massachusetts, remember where American freedom was born and will always be fought for, by the Speaker of the House, Ronald Mariano, and me, your state representative, Stephen Exaros. Congratulations. I just wanted to add, I'm also going to give Wendy a piece of the American flag that I cut out as a Gold Star father of a son of Massachusetts who now rests in the Massachusetts National Cemetery. Under the flag, from a flag to
Mary Claire did an amazing job talking about Mercy Otis Warren. I'm going to add just a couple of items about Mercy, and then we're going to talk about it. As Mary mentioned, Mercy Otis Warren was born right here in the village in West Barnstable in 1728, the third of 13 children, and the first daughter born to James and Mary Otis. And as Mary mentioned, it was an error that it was unusual for a woman to obtain any schooling beyond reading and writing. Mercy's father, Judge James Otis Sr., allowed her to study with the West Parish Reverend Jonathan Russell while he tutored her brothers in preparation for Harvard. Now, Mercy Otis, to this day, is still recognized as one of the most influential women, not only just in West Barnstable, Cape Cod, Barnstable County, Massachusetts, but really United States history. In 1943, a Liberty ship, the SS Mercy Warren, was launched in her honor, and on October 5th, in 2002, she was posthumously inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame in Seneca Falls, New York. Mercy Otis Warren was more than a woman ahead of her time. She was a beacon of light that would have illuminated any era. So I think that's an appropriate transition to talk about the 2021 Mercy Otis Warren Woman of the Year, Wendy Northcross. It was back on May 5th that the Barnstable County Board of Commissioners formally endorsed Wendy, residing here in West Barnstable, as the 2021 Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year recipient. The Woman of the Year Award Committee recommended Wendy for this award. It recognizes a Cape Cod woman who has made a significant and positive impact on our region. The Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year was established back in 2002. As we said, it annually recognizes a woman who exemplifies the traits of leadership in the community and who has made a significant contribution to the arts, education, business, and community involvement. Now, we have to tell you everything Wendy's done. So settle in, because we have a lot to talk about, and all of it is very important. Wendy, right now the Chief Executive Officer of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, also a community activist, received 3 nominations from Peter Scarafile, Dorothy Savarese, and Elaine Bono. In his nomination letter, Peter said, with her strong work ethic and endless hours as a volunteer, she's left her mark on our community. Truly, Wendy has made the difference in the lives of the people of Cape Cod, and she's an excellent candidate for the Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year Award. Dorothy Savarese wrote that Wendy has been a passionate leader on the Cape for over 30 years and embodies each attribute of this esteemed award, including a commitment to volunteerism and community involvement, education, business, the arts, and culture. Elaine Bono said of Wendy, she's a strong advocate for anything Cape Cod. She's not bound by the politics of the Chamber of Commerce, but by her loyalty and devotion to what is the best interests of Cape Cod, and I highlight that, right? It's always been about the best interests of Cape Cod, not about politics, not about party, but about what has been best for all of us who live and work here in Cape Cod. She said, how refreshing it is for me to see a woman representing Cape Cod for what it stands for. Wendy personifies Cape Cod, and Elaine enthusiastically nominated her for the Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year Award. Award Committee member Marcy Berman said, perhaps best known for her involvement with the business community as CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Wendy's impact on the region is far-reaching. Her achievements include spearheading wastewater planning, helping to establish a Cape-wide transportation plan, increasing high-speed internet access to the area. She co-founded the John F. Kennedy Highness Museum, a popular tourist attraction here in southeastern Massachusetts, and worked tirelessly as a member and president of the Highness Rotary Club. Wendy has also served on the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod, the Town of Barnstable Affordable Housing Growth and Development Trust Fund Board, and the Cape Cod Cooperative Bank. She's been a liaison to the Barnstable County Regional Substance Abuse Coalition. It's a lot of good stuff. Also notable, and you heard about it just a few moments ago, and maybe appropriate that as Wendy gets ready to retire from the chamber, but I don't think you're going to disappear. I think that you'll hopefully still be around. She's giving me a wink like something's coming, and the reporter in me wants to know right now. But as was mentioned by our lawmakers, many of you may or may not know the amount of work that's been ongoing behind the scenes every week since the COVID outbreak over a year ago, every single week, multiple times a week, the meetings, the phone calls that have been taking place on what was first the Cape Cod COVID-19 Response Task Force, which is now the Response Task Force, formerly the Cape Cod Reopening Task Force, and that list goes on. And I can tell you, I know personally that, and it was mentioned by our lawmakers, when we had the testing that began and we saw the problems that were going on with testing and not getting enough of it on the Cape, Wendy was there. When the vaccines started and we weren't getting them fast enough, Wendy was there. And the reason why Barnstable County has, and I believe it is the highest vaccination rate in the state right now among all the counties, is because Wendy Northcross was there at the table for all of you. She was there with a group of people, but you have to understand she has been really the leader for us for so many years. I've had the privilege and honor of my reporter life for 25 years. I want to make She's only 35. For over 25 years covering Wendy as a news reporter, I can tell you that the vibrant nature of the Cape community and what it is right now, and who we are as an entire region, would not be what it is without Wendy. I can tell you that right now. There's no way around it. If we had a mayor, she should be the mayor. We all agree? There are so many things that Wendy's been involved with that you may not even be aware of, so many committees, efforts. There aren't many people that can pick up a phone and get the governor to call her back. How many governors have you had? Is it 4 governors maybe now? Go back, maybe 5, but quite a few. And our lawmakers can probably attest to that. There are not many people who can make that phone call to Beacon Hill and get the governor or the lieutenant governor to call her back right away.
Call him now, so it is.
Because when that call is made, they understand that the call has to be taken because they know Wendy's making a phone call in the best interest of all of us here on Cape Cod. When they build those 2 new bridges, Tom cares up there. He knows I say this all the time. When they build those 2 new bridges, I'm going to talk to all the lawmakers here, and I'm going to be the biggest lobbyist. One of those bridges have to be named in honor of Wendy. One of your most important legacies, I believe. Tom can attest to that as well, and many of the others of you here, that we had a situation years ago, and Wendy made sure that our voice was heard to the Army Corps of Engineers and to the state, and because we are where we are with the progress of that because of what she's been involved with. So we really owe a lot to you, Wendy. We hope to see even more great things from you in the future. So I will present to you formally the 2021 Mercy Otis Warren Cape Cod Woman of the Year, Wendy Northcross.
Good evening, everyone. This is quite an occasion and so well deserved. It's a joy to be with you as we celebrate the Cape Cod Woman of the Year as she receives the Mercy Otis Warren Award for her stellar achievements on behalf of all of us, as you have been hearing. Wendy Northcross has touched the lives of all of us on Cape Cod, whether we are fully aware of it or not. But her influence is on a national level as well, and she is known internationally, as I will explain in a moment. Please be aware right now that I had to truncate this introduction on Wendy's service and give only the bare bones, lest we still be here at midnight. To give a sweeping idea of Wendy's widespread involvement and influence, let me share some of her top interests, which have not all been brought up so far. Economic and community development, historic preservation, environmental protection, civic engagement,
It's the
organizational
governor. Sorry, Mimi.
all of which bear directly on the flavor of Cape Cod and always on the Cape's future. This explains why she was able to secure state funding for the design and building of new Cape Cod Canal bridges with a focus on road, bike, and pedestrian access, which you referred to. Likewise, she conceived, drafted, and advocated for landmark legislation establishing the Cape and Islands Water Protection Trust Fund for wastewater infrastructure, funded with overnight occupancy fees on vacation accommodations. We can see how she makes the links between serving all of us by gaining support from the business community, one of her hallmarks. As you've just also heard, Wendy instigated and led the Cape Cod COVID-19 response task force, and I assume you're going to keep going in that direction. No.
We're done.
Okay.
We're done. Oh, keep going. You're good.
Well, she established the Blue Economy Foundation in 2018 to advance the work of building a water-centric economy, once again injecting environmental issues in real-world imperatives. Wendy currently serves on the board of the Cape Cod Climate Change Collaborative, working to advance our transition to a responsible lifestyle and economy free of the choking effects of our carbon-based practices. She has served untold numbers of times with the Cape Cod Commission on Land Use and related issues. Wendy has been involved since 1988 with our Chambers of Commerce, first as the Executive Director of the Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, then Interim Executive Director of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce for 1 year, at which time, it must have been interesting, by the way, she had to update the Chamber's quarters where there were abundant mice and even holes in the floor. Next became Chief Operating Officer in 1998, and finally, Chief Executive Officer in 2002. Even while she minded the store here, she chaired the New England Chamber of Commerce Executives and the Massachusetts Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. Those are mighty things you had to deal with. Over the years, she has put Cape Cod on the map in myriad ways with an astonishing number of interviews and appearances locally and across our country and even globally. I mean, you turn on the radio and there she is. The crowning occasion, however, was in 2017 when she was chosen to represent the United States at the World Chambers Federation's Congress in Sydney, Australia, where she gave a presentation on the role of national chambers of commerce in promoting renewable energy. Was that a pretty good fun time? Wendy was a rock as part of the 22-member Community Working Group, a state-appointed body charged in 1997 with creating a master plan for what is now called Joint Base Cape Cod. This work was intense and potentially volatile, but the end result was a blueprint for the environmental legislation known as Chapter 47 of the Acts of 2002 that lays out what can and cannot take place at the base. When we needed calm and cooperation around the table, we looked to Wendy for a steadying influence. When I interviewed Wendy for this introduction, she emphasized how much it meant to her to have the full support of her husband, Van Northcross, as she built her career. One is reminded of how Mercy was blessed also by the steady support of her husband as she worked her magic at the time of the American Revolution. Like Mercy, Wendy never looks for the limelight, but she follows it. It follows her wherever she goes. We wish her well and can hardly wait to see what she tackles next for humanity, but not before the two of you take this long-awaited vacation.
Well, now it's time for the formal presentation. Wendy and Mimi and David, if you will. If we will now, we will formally present Wendy Northcross as the 2021 Mercy Award Cape Cod Woman of the Year.
What you got?
So, are you ready? You need muscles for this, believe me. Here we go.
Oh gosh, I'm shaking. You know, all the things you just listed up, no wonder I'm exhausted. None of that happens in a vacuum. None of that happens from one person. Everyone in this room has been part of the energy and the focus and the force and the caring and the love that makes things happen on Cape Cod. And for me to get the award I feel like a fraud. It just feels like, no. That's just going to happen anyway. And I just happen to have the best job on the planet to see it all happen. Just like Mercy married into the right family, had great parents. She was very, very lucky. I've been very, very lucky. I have to tell you, I was already in bed with my jammies on, and Judy Scarafile texted me and said, "Can Peter call you?" I was like, "No." I said, "No, is tomorrow morning okay?" And she said, "Fine." And I said, "Maybe 8 o'clock, anytime after 8 o'clock. So the next morning, I'm in my home office, the sun porch. At 8 o'clock, maybe 8:01, Peter calls. I'd kind of forgotten. I thought he was going to work a Harbor Hawks case. Not sure. So he started telling me that he had nominated me for the Mercy Otis Warren Award. I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And he said, "And Dorothy Savarese nominated you for the award." I'm like, "Oh, that's nice." And he said, "And Elaine Bono nominated you." I'm like, "Who the hell's Elaine Bono?" Thank you, Elaine. Elaine had been trying to call me to tell me what she had done, and we were playing telephone tag. Anyway, he said, "And you were selected." And I was like, "What?" It's like, when did you get to the Harbor Hawks bit? Because it didn't make sense. So literally, you could have knocked me over with a feather, and I just am really stunned and really, really grateful. But I have to tell you, I had to Google the award later that morning. I was like, "Oh yeah, Mercy Otis Warren, what does this mean?" And then I was reduced to tears. Because as I was reading the list of the women that have been honored with this award before me, it suddenly occurred to me what had happened to me. I've just kind of entered this special embrace. My mother died very suddenly in March, and it was a shock. But the women that reached out to me in those first few days and hours that gave me the most comfort and had the most amazing things to say to me were the names that I was reading on that list of Mercy Otis Warren recipients. Honest to God, Dorothy Savarese, top of the list, Judy Scarafile, Lynn Poyant, Sue French, Felicia Penn, who texted me she's waiting for the repairman. Far more important things to be doing tonight, to get a repairman in your house in this day and age. But Felicia's here in spirit. And Mimi McConnell. When Mimi reached out to me, literally, it was really important. And thank you for your kind words. These are all very special women that uplifted me in a very important way. And I realized that this was the honor of the Mercy Otis Warren Award. So, reading the entire list, I also realized most of these people I've met or have worked with at some point in my life. And that also felt very special. So I do feel a special affinity to Mercy Otis Warren. She was born and raised literally houses up the street from where Van and I live. She went to school in this building where Van and I have been members for well over 40 years. This is a very special place. I'm really, really honored that you moved this here. I just felt it would be safer than the lawn at the courthouse. This is where Van and I got married 37 years ago. This is where Alexis got married 17 years ago. This is where my goddaughter and granddaughter, Lainey Bender, was baptized a decade ago at Thanksgiving. And this is where my mom will be remembered on June 19th. So we can finally lay her to rest in peace and love. So this is a very special place to me. Mercy Otis Warren, I think, has either been following me around or maybe haunting me, because she had the support of strong teachers and men in her family, as I've had, just aside from the proximity. She had a strong brother, as I do, Todd Kittredge, who's always said to me, "I'm there for you, I'm here for you." And my husband, Van, the love of my life, the guy who led me into community activism and political engagement, who was running Tom Lynch's campaigns and a few Rob O'Leary campaigns, and a whole lot of stories there. He's been my co-conspirator in work and love and family He's rarely said no to an idea, except taking that wall down between the kitchen and the dining room, the biggest fight of our life.
She won.
I went. It's a really small house. We didn't need that long. He has really truly supported me during this really incredibly busy career, and it's probably because he doesn't mind doing the laundry or the cooking or the shopping. And when I was stuck at home for the pandemic, he was standing there looking at me and saying, "Is this what it's going to be like when you're retired and you're home all day?" And I said, "Oh no, it's going to be worse because I'm not going to be working home all day, focused on you." But Van taught me how to make a difference for Cape Cod in ways that I could never have imagined. And thank you, sweetie. Thank you. So I'm grateful that the Tales of Cape Cod and Barnstable County and all of its supporters support women who've given their full talent to Cape Cod and to our country. And while I never have sought the limelight, I've really just tried to do what was right for Cape Cod. But I tell you, it sure feels great to be appreciated. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you to everybody here. What a great night it's been. Amazing, amazing time. We appreciate everybody for being here. All of you here to show your support and your love for Wendy and great words on Van. We would, I think, before we went, as we end, we usually like to get a group photo if we could with all the previous winners as well, and with some of the reps as well. So, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been a crazy year for all of us. We've made it through, and we're pushing forward. And again, I do say when we look forward to what your next act is going to be, because we know there'll be another one.
Well, we can declare the pandemic officially over.
Okay. Thank you so much for everybody being here tonight.